Good evening, Wrestle Talk fans, and welcome to another edition of Wrestle Talk Show. I'm your host, Joshua Zimmerman, here to bring you the latest news in professional wrestling, bits, rumors, anything and everything pro wrestling. We cover it. Like we always do, we want to thank our audience for your viewership. Without you, this would not be possible. And thank you so much for your input, your viewership, and your willingness to be interactive. We want to encourage you to visit WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. Within the hour, we will be finishing up updating the website. We do apologize for the delay again, and thank you for your patience while we went through the Christmas holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday, the Christmas holiday, and we start the new year with the updates and small changes you'll see at first, leading to the full members page outlined hopefully by the end of this weekend. I hope to have that full members page up and details on how you can become a member. We're doing subscriptions for as little as $2.50 a month. That'll include bonus audio, bonus videos that we'll do, a lot of bonus material, photos, bits and rumors that aren't available on the free site, more detailed stories that will start on the free site, and extra content will be available on said stories through the members only portion of the site, and a couple of different ideas. If you'd like to submit an idea, please visit WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. Send us an email through that method, or send a direct email, any wrestling question, topic, concern, website idea, anything like that, to cwecompany@gmail.com. We encourage that you visit us on Facebook and Twitter, both at CWE Company. Moving on to your wrestling news. Wrestling fan sues Triple H and Rock for an injury sustained back at Judgment Day 2000. The victim at the time was 7 years old and is being referred to as Basham. Full story available on pwtorch.com, who has the other link where the story originated through the newspaper article. Feel free to visit that at any time. But basically, he's claiming that during Judgment Day 2000, while Triple H and Rock were out in the fans doing their performance, where they'd taken the fight to the fans, that his right knee and leg were injured after Triple H and Rock fell on him. The lawyer goes on to comment that basically, in a nutshell, he picked up the case as the client is now 18 years old, the statute of limitations has not run out, and this is why they're pursuing it. There's a couple of things I could say here, and I will. First off, it's 10 years old, the incident. Second off, Judgment Day 2000, that particular match, is available on YouTube in multiple parts. There's a couple of portions where it goes off camera, and in one, you see the crowd kind of looking at something. It's unclear if that's what they're looking at, but the video is too hard to make out, and I think if that's what they're using it on, while basing the claim on, they're going to have a hard time there. Secondly, even if you got a professional copy like WWE DVD or whatever, they're not going to show you any off-camera moments. Another is 10 years ago, where are the witnesses? Are they still around? Has this lawyer just been sitting in the wind waiting for this kid to turn 18? I think it's an undisclosed amount that he's suing for. WWE refuses to comment on pending litigation, but they're claiming that they just found out about it. But this is the stance that they should take anyway. Um, my thing is you're probably going to get a response from Triple H and Rock just to make it look like, just for good PR purposes. You're going to get a statement from them, which will get Rock out of the woodworks and back on a wrestling angle. Um, I don't see this guy winning. Not saying I'm a lawyer. I'm not in any way, shape, or form. But 10 years after the fact, he was 7 at the time. Now, if this situation was that bad, like, let's use this as the analogy. When I was younger, my parents had the option to sue because part of my cerebral palsy, or my cerebral palsy in general, is due to medical malpractice. Now, they decided not to. Now, that's what the normal parent does. You're basically saying that your child was injured and you decided to do nothing. Now, I can end up eating my words if over the last 10 years they've tried everything they could do, they went to every doctor, they utilized every resource they could, and this is a last-ditch effort to get the money from WWE. But I don't see this as a slam dunk by any means, just because the physical proof probably isn't there, especially since he's claiming it happened in an off-camera segment. But we shall see what happens. Moving on, former Miramax executive joins the WWE legal team. More information on that at pwtorch.com if you're interested. Shareholders and investors question WWE's stance on maintaining high dividend payouts, despite the fact that over 2 years the company has been losing money. This comes after shareholders questioned this and more or less said, why is so much money going out but not enough coming in? A financial review site called WideChart reviewed WWE's dividend payout and said that lowering it would sustain financial sanity, but I kind of see their argument. And this is kind of stupid. I mean, WWE made cuts everywhere else over the last 3 to 5 years, when every other company was buckling down and cutting, balancing out their books, I'll call it. So was WWE. Now, your shareholders are more or less saying, we want to see dividends, but if there needs to be less dividends, it's understandable because for the last 2 years we've been losing money every quarter. Vince acknowledges it. They're losing it in pay-per-views. They're losing it in buy rates. Buy rates, pay-per-views, same thing. Buy rates, programming viewership, live events. They're losing it everywhere, and basically what the shareholders are more or less agreeing to by asking for this investigation, or this second look, if you will, is you could cut back there too. Yeah, you're a multi-million-dollar company. Like I keep saying, they have $220 million in the coffer every quarter. Of course, the shareholders are going to get dividend payouts of some kind. And most of them aren't there for a week or two. They've been there for the long haul, have invested a majority of their capital in Vince McMahon. So for Vince to say we're going to keep losing money, but we're going to keep the shareholders happy, more or less tells me that, all right, if something happens negatively, this is how he's justifying it. Yeah, we might suck right now, but we haven't stopped paying you top dollar. And where the concern comes is, yes, we're being paid top dollar for our investment, but in the end, will there be enough money to manage this company? And I don't think this would have come under fire if there was. But like I said, Y Charts recommended that a dividend cut would demonstrate financial sanity. Now, whether or not WWE does it is yet to be seen. TNA has its final Impact tonight, leading into Genesis pay-per-view, first pay-per-view for 2011. And I'm going to stop watching for 3 months because it's still Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo trying to relive their dreams that will never amount. Basically, like I reported yesterday, they averaged a 1.08, down from a 1.14 last year in television ratings. And this is after they spent all this money to gain extra talent, advertising, Hulk Hogan, Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, and they lost ground in the ratings. Now, if this doesn't tell you something, that, hey, it has nothing to do with who we hire, it's the product we put out, I don't know. So, quick clue to Dixie, get rid of Eric and Vince Russo, especially Vince Russo. Eric Bischoff at least likes to kiss your ass. Vince Russo wants to hide and puts everybody else out there to take the heat. This man is one of your core writers and is responsible for the product you see on TV now. The product that no one likes. Bring back your X Division, Dixie, and start taking your promotion seriously. It's not just about how many big names. Every promotion around could hire big names, but then they wouldn't have money to do anything else, so they find an equal balance. Most companies wanted to build off of your model and build homegrown talent. Now you're taking the homegrown talent and pushing it to the back so you can justify these six-figure salaries others are making. WWE in talks with theater distribution companies to have WrestleMania 27 appear in theaters and in 3D. Matt Hardy went on to talk again regarding, he commented on a few things. One, regarding the lack of focus on the tag division. Quote, business is not hot right now. We need to make the number one priority finding the next Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin. Matt Hardy on the PG rating, quote, I see why they do it, not necessarily that I agree with it. It puts them in a tough spot. However, it's cool to see TNA can be edgy, but at the same time, you don't need guys bleeding all over the place. On his return to WWE, if I ever went back, I would have to work part-time. I'm past working 300 plus days a year. I'd be willing to work hard as I've always done, just not out in the trenches as I've done for the last 13 years. On his own promotion in the Carolinas, he's commented as saying he's talked to a few people, has some ideas, and, quote, those ideas will materialize in months to come. More details on that available at prowrestling.net. Overall, my prediction for TNA is that nothing is going to change until management changes. Numerous people have said this. Dixie Carter needs to make 2011 the time if she does that. Look at what Vince, Eric, and Hulk have done for you in 2010. Now, Hulk can be done on his behind-the-scenes creative side. There, he's still good because he revolutionized an era in wrestling. The man will always have things you should take into advisement. But performing at his age, his condition, Eric Bischoff being on TV is just bad for business. And nothing will change until management changes. Until next time, that is all. Feel free to visit us at WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. Send emails to cwecompany@gmail.com. And again, visit us on Facebook and Twitter at CWE Company. Thanks, and have an excellent night.